You've probably seen the headlines Cardano to moon, but with the most recent crypto crash, you might be wondering, is Cardano a good investment? Fear not, crypto balls, we are tackling your most burning Cardano questions to help you make a better informed decision. But first, why are Cardano investors worried right now? For months, Cardano investors have been dreaming about Lambos and early retirement. But lately, there has been a storm brewing. Talks of Cardano underperforming and that it's doomed to fail. So we just need to look here. Cardano dark hour panic grips investors as Cardano ADA loses 22% of its value. This is something that we saw on the 17th of April where the crypto market crashed. We saw lots of altcoins go as low as 60%, losing 60% of their value. So look, Cardano investors aren't the only ones concerned and worried about the investments that they've made, but this gives you an idea of the reason why investors have been so worried. If you're new into crypto or you've been investing in stocks historically, a 22% pullback on any investment that you've made would be a shock to the system. So let me pass you over to Nick, who will dig into the Cardano ADA technical analysis.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I know that a lot of people are concerned over Cardano's price action. We've seen the likes of Solana and a few other altcoins that have already rallied, and well, Cardano just simply hasn't. But I want to spend a little bit of time just jumping into the charts here for Cardano, just to kind of reflect on how things are gearing up and why we actually are looking reasonably well at Cardano, and it could potentially be a very similar setup to the previous cycles. As we can kind of see here, we had this kind of bear market through 2018. We did see a rally in 2019, and I think this is very similar to kind of where we have been seeing Cardano's price action at the moment, right? If we have this little move up to the upside here, it's about 294%. And if we take a look at the most recent price action, we have seen about 268%. These are very, very similar. And although we did see a few additional kind of rejections in places, I wouldn't be terribly too concerned over Cardano's most recent price action, because ultimately it does look like it's gearing itself up for another fantastic run to the upside a little bit later in the cycle, as we had seen in previous cycles just before. Now, if we come back down into the charts here and take a look at this a little bit deeper, we did of course see a bit of a crash after we had that initial run to the upside. And for the most part, we should have actually bottomed out in 2019 before the pandemic. Now, the pandemic did actually cause us a few problems in the price action for Cardano, but we are not in the same times. This time is slightly different because we don't have that global pandemic to basically bring the prices down to new bear market low points. Now, it is still of course possible that Cardano does go down into a new lower low, but I don't think that is the most probable scenario. Instead, and as I have been through previously, I do think that there are some other areas of key support for ADA that is likely to actually hold up really, really well. And so when we take a look at this, I do think that we're likely to see this correction continue down a little bit deeper, as I have spoken about before. We'll look for around that kind of 30-cent level, and that's going to be a huge opportunity for dollar cost average for building out those bigger positions on ADA, because what happens afterwards is a fantastic run to the upside. As we had seen previously, it was 17,500% after we had this kind of first initial crash in the market. So I know a lot of people are concerned looking at the price action and looking at other altcoins that have already rallied. It doesn't appear to be a very similar setup for ADA, and I think actually we are looking at history for Cardano repeating itself with a nice healthy correction just before a parabolic move to the upside. Chris, I'll pass it back to you to have a look at the news.
So, how long until the Cardano season starts? When can we expect that bullish run to the upside? So, if we look at Cardano ADA and its price and its general movements over the previous cycle and this one, they're very similar. You know, you're seeing the likes of Solana outperforming Cardano right now. You saw that with Chainlink in the previous cycle. And we know that based on the Bitcoin halving and the price movements historically of Cardano's ADA, it normally takes around 6 months before we start to see that real big price surge to the upside for Cardano's ADA. So I am, of the belief that sort of mid-December 2024, we're going to see significant gains for Cardano's ADA. This would align very much with what we saw in the previous cycle, and it sort of aligns up with where we're at right now. But do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. So, is Cardano ADA a good investment? To answer this question, I think we've got to have a look at the biggest crypto news today and Cardano news today in order to really be able to answer that question. And I think we should start here. Cardano experiences surge in transaction volume. I think this is really important, and it really does demonstrate whether a project is going to go on to be successful or not. Cardano recently experienced a significant increase in transaction volume with a dramatic 28,372% jump in large holder inflows in just one day. This influx, which skyrockets from 54.93 million ADA to 6.32 billion ADA, reflects a strong investor interest and suggests a bullish market sentiment. So I think this stuff is really important. It's really difficult to answer whether a project is really a good investment or not. And you can really get a grasp of whether it is or it isn't by the on-chain metrics. Other things that I think are worth highlighting is the fact that Grayscale recently announced a fund which is aimed at optimizing staking rewards. This doesn't necessarily include ADA or Cardano's ADA right now, but I do think that it's something that we will see in the future. Now, I have also mentioned before that there's lots of opportunity when it comes to spot ETFs. Now, I believe, and I've said this before, that we will see altcoins get their own spot ETFs. Before the Bitcoin ETF was approved, I did suggest that we should expect an Ethereum spot ETF. We are waiting on whether that's going to actually be approved or not, but I think that it's inevitable that it will, maybe not right away, but eventually we will have an Ethereum spot ETF. I think that it will then roll down into other altcoins, the likes of Cardano's ADA, XRP, Solana, and Chainlink are all altcoins that I've suggested could potentially see their own spot ETF. Cardano sees massive growth in smart contracts as well. And I think that this, again, is something that we should be talking about because it's a sign of ecosystem growth. This tells me that Cardano's smart contracts and DeFi is going to be something that explodes in this bull run. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comments below. Where do you view Cardano 6 months from now? Really interested to get your views and opinions. So one of the other things that many people don't consider is how good the tech is when it comes to your investment. For me, Cardano's tech is superior to many others and is overlooked an awful lot. If we have a look here, we got Charles Hoskinson celebrates Cardano ADA's insane blockchain performance. This is really interesting, right? Because you got the fact that it processes multiple transactions for like over 1,600 people in a single block. And it's minimal cost. So we've got here the beauty of Cardano: 1 block, 8 transactions, 1,600 unique receipts, and total fees of 5.16 ADA or $2.38. Now, when you consider the fees for Ethereum, in comparison to Cardano, there is only one winner, and that is Cardano. Now, what I would say is, when it comes to Cardano's price prediction, we could potentially see a rally to $27 after the Bitcoin halving. According to Ali here, nothing has really changed for Cardano ADA. It's exactly where it should be, consolidating at about 0.55 to the 0.80 range before it breaks out to what this analyst predicts at $1.70. It resembles a pattern observed between 2018 to 2021. And if this does continue, we should expect a 170 ADA price as this upswing happens and plays out. But it's going to be interesting to see whether that actually comes to fruition or not. For me, Cardano is massively undervalued. It's massively unappreciated. And I do think that actually with everything that we've just talked through in this video, it's set up to do really well. But let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comments below. It's really important to me that I understand, what your thoughts and opinions are. Are they different to mine, or are you aligned to what I'm saying here in this video? Really interested to find out. So do let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's video, do hit the like button, subscribe, tap that bell, select all the notifications so you never miss a video. And check out Nick's latest update on Bitcoin here. And I will catch you in the next one. Take care.